Hi everyone. You're all well while I get into a more comfortable position. Make sure I don't look too fat and make sure you can see a little bit of, can I move my head even more? Of Carlos Tevez. A bit of Carlos Tevez, because we are on the 29th of March, and on this day in 2010, as you can read there, Carlos Tevez scored a hat-trick in 12 minutes. A City beat Wigan by 3-0. We did indeed. Well, guys, Sunday evening, a bit late tonight. I apologise, but had some mates from a long time ago, from 1990. Some mates. They wanted to have a chat. We haven't spoken for a while, so we had about a 90-minute WhatsApp call just to see how each other was doing, see how we're getting on, and coping with the situation, with the problems that we have in the country right now. So we had a good old natter talking about obviously sport and that we're missing it, talking about football. One of my mates is a Liverpool fan, and trying to rattle him a little bit by saying it should be declared null and void, that kind of stuff. But look, we're all missing football. We all miss either playing it, watching it, talking about it the way we used to talk about it. We can't talk about it in anything like that in those terms at the moment. We miss other sports, whether it's cricket and rugby and golf and whatever the sports. It's one of my big things in life growing up was to play sport. I absolutely loved almost everything. I didn't like horse racing. I loved to play sport and I loved to watch sports. People of a certain age, certain era, you remember things like World of Sport, Grandstand, Sports Scene if you're in Scotland, Sports Night for the midweek stuff. We watched whatever we could, and when stuff was available on free to air like cricket, absolutely, we had to be watching cricket. I remember when I was a kid, we used to watch cricket, and I just used to park myself. I remember I had this thing in our living room. TV was in the corner, fire was there. I'd sit down, put my feet on top of the fire. Obviously, fire's off in the summer, and just watch the football. The cricket. What am I saying? Watch the cricket. Watch the test matches all day long. Test matches. The actual match will start at 11, finish at around 6, but you'd get the preamble and the toss and everything starting at half 10, finishing at 6:30 when they finished to wrap up. I watched basically every single minute that I could. I absolutely loved cricket, loved all sports. My dad was, I think I've said before, my dad was a good cricketer. It's not going to be a long stream tonight, guys, because one of the reasons it's already quite late. It's nearly 10 o'clock. And I've let my laptop run down to, I think I'm on 11%. I've just been charging my phone. So my laptop's run down. I've not got the charger. So that's going to make sure it's not a massively long stream. It'll be about 5 or 6 minutes. So if anybody wants to come on, you can do that. Really, there's not a lot to talk about. If people do come on and watch this afterwards, if you want, you can get in touch. You can get in touch if you want to, if you would like to get a wallpaper, a desktop wallpaper like the one you see behind me, and on this day desktop wallpaper, something, if it's your birthday or if it's for, let's say, your nan's birthday or something and she's a City fan or whatever it is. If you want something like this, drop us a line, call, he's a whiz, he puts these together. And he'll gladly put a desktop wallpaper for you for a special occasion. The regulars, you all know who you are, and he's offered to do that for the regulars. So, guys, if you do watch this afterwards, because I don't think anyone's going to come on at this time of the night. One, there's nothing to talk about. I don't want to go on about coronavirus, COVID-19. I've done that. Obviously, you guys know I've done it a lot. So, you know, in sad times at the moment, I'll try and focus a bit more on footy. So there'll be some crazy stories coming out. And honestly, you don't know. Look, it's the 29th of March. It's not April Fool's Day. It's not the 1st of April yet. And you just do not know which stories are true and which stories are absolute baloney. Here we go. Here's an exclusive, okay? Just come out a few minutes ago, 20 minutes ago. Premier League plans have developed into clubs staying in quarantine World Cup style bases and playing all games in Midlands in June or July. All 92 remaining games will be broadcast in a TV mega event, government backing. Do you know what I say? My backside. My backside, okay? If they even tried to make this happen, yeah, I will not go to football again. Because certainly this is not the... What do you mean government backing? This is not the time for the powers that be. The government in this country should be focused 110% on saving as many lives. How on earth can they have the time to talk about stuff like this? I think I hope you well, Spencer Mark. Oh, I haven't. Well, I'm going to look into that, Spencer Mark. The funny thing is, the article I saw, I haven't read it. The picture they put, Sheikh Mansour. Sheikh Mansour. So, as I said, guys, this is going to be a very, very short stream. It's going to be, honestly, 5 minutes more maximum, might be even 2 or 3. But basically, I'm just going through some stupid ideas. So this government backing, I just cannot believe that, okay? That guy's a lunatic. Okay? There's more. There are other stuff. There's one here. Okay? The Premier League is considering a twinning proposal from the Chinese Super League, where each team would sell their entire squads to China until this blows over. One vice chair was said to see the merit in the idea. She continued, the Chinese only have had a few thousand cases. I think that was a joke. I think that was obviously the word she meant it was from Karen Brady. So that's from Ham News. I think it's just a joke. But as I said, you don't know what is a joke, what's April Fool's, what is something that they think is true. Here, football leaders are said to be upset and frustrated that the government has not provided emergency proposals for the resumption of football, with one chairman commenting, "I can't believe Boris has written a letter to everyone. That cash could have bought us a new centre-back." I think these are all jokes, guys, parodies and stuff. But still, the first one wasn't. Okay, the first one certainly wasn't. It's ludicrous. Apparently, Liverpool haven't given up hope of playing again in May and are considering filling Anfield with already exposed NHS workers who may be tested as part of the government's latest plan. An executive close to the plan said, if field hospitals can take place in stadia, why not matches? Why not? Here's another one. UEFA are considering banning Atalanta, Leipzig, PSG for historic FFP violations, which may open the door to playing the remaining 2019-20 European fixtures concurrently with the 2020-21 European fixtures before having a double-header final in Taiwan in May 2021. I think, guys, these are all April Fools or pre-April Fools. Okay, and that's why I said the first one first. Now, out of all those 5 things, do you think any is true? Banning Atlanta, Leipzig, and PSG. You think that's true? Having the idea that Liverpool will have exposed NHS workers in the crowd, is that true? The one where the football leaders have said, why have they written this letter when we could have spent the money on a centre-back? Is that true? And to China, is that true? Actually, none of them are true. Okay, they're all jokes. But the first one I said, where they won all the 92 games in baloney. It ain't happening. Okay, how we in this country we will have seen, I suspect, several thousand people die between now and July. The players, the Spanish players, they will see over 10,000 of their countrymen and countrywomen die from this coronavirus. Italy will see, could be in the region of 20,000 people, and a lot of them from the mostly from the north. France, they've already got a few thousand die. Do you think Germany? Okay, Germany's not as bad, but they've had some, significant numbers die, hundreds. I think Switzerland, Belgium, Holland, everywhere. And do you think the footballers are going to have the appetite for football in the summer, in July, being flogged like dogs? It ain't happening. It isn't happening. There's no way, okay, in my opinion, in June and July. In 2 months, they're going to squeeze all this in and then have a month off for the players. Are going to say, get stuff. There's going to be some players who will give up on football after this. I'm sure some players will say, I don't want to play football anymore. Especially if they've lost family members, loved ones, whatever. People, especially if might just say, I don't want it. This situation is people's lives. Absolutely. It's going to... let me just quickly go through your comments because my computer's slowing down. As I said, it's not got much battery left. Kex O'Neill, chin up, Red. Did you read Collymore today? I don't read Collymore anyway. I saw a tweet from him that someone had retweeted, and I saw something, but I can't remember now. Tip of the iceberg. Yeah. Collymore, I don't. He might say something right occasionally, but even the old saying is a busted clock is right twice a day. I believe something will come out soon, and the media will have to eat humble pie. Well, Spencer Matt, remember we did that thing a day or two, a couple of days ago, when we looked at null and voided, which teams would want it stopped and which teams would want it to continue. And I said, there's not many teams that would want it stopped if the other option was to null and void it. Okay, there'll be some that want to continue, but they've got the ones who've got something to play for and don't feel fear the drop. They would like it to continue. The ones who fear going down, voided. Okay, and then there's some clubs who are unsure whether null and void or stop. Stop is unfair. I've always said stop is unfair. I agree, Spencer Mark. If City were 25 points clear, the league would have been null and voided before lockdown. It'd have been done ages ago. There's the interest of one club pushing this. But I've also said the least unfair or the most fair way of doing it is to continue the season. Some fans will give up. Absolutely, Spencer Mark. A lot of people are unhappy with the monetization and they were hanging on. Then they're unhappy with VAR. That's caused some people to say, I'm not coming anymore. And you'll see this will be another death knell, especially if we're going to go into a lengthy and hard recession. What the government have proposed and the bailouts they've given, it's got to be paid for, and it's going to be paid for in taxes, tax increases, and probably more austerity at some point. People are going to start to give up. I'll look at it and say, can I take my kids? Do I keep 3 season cards? Is that too much? Absolutely, Angus. Some people aren't listening. Yeah, absolutely. Spencer, Etihad used to NHS. I think that's it. If lots of clubs are using their stadium for the NHS, how can you play matches? The only way to do it is behind closed doors somewhere else. It ain't happening. I don't think so, Angus. One of the problems we've got at the moment is people are still flying in. Someone said there were 20 flights from America or from New York yesterday. New York has got, New York on its own is almost as bad as the whole of the UK. It's a terrible situation in New York right now. Hundreds are dying, and we're allowing them to come in. Now, if someone's coming here and they're not checked, they've got, if they're a carrier or they've got it, they might be asymptomatic, or they might have full-blown COVID-19, but it might be mild, but they might be carrying it for the next 10 days. Now, what if they go on the tube and infect 100 people? It can happen. So it's not going to, there'll be a point where it does start to dip, new cases will dip, but also it'll keep having clusters because of things like flying people in from danger zones into this country. So it's going to go on for a while, and the government themselves, I say if they put really severe draconian lockdown measures in place, they could break the back of it in April, but they haven't done so. I still think we'll have a peak in April. I hope it's in April and not in May or June, because if it's in May or June, that's disastrous. As far as I can see, that's disastrous. If we can have a peak towards it, that would be actually good news. But if you're going to keep letting people go to work, you've seen pictures, still tube or other places too much. Klopper said no, but he should have said so at the time. You see, lots of things are easy in hindsight. Lots of Klopp should have said so at the time. A lot of people said so was wrong, instead of saying it after. As I said, guys, it's all meant to be. Finally, I'll say again, if you want a wallpaper, a desktop wallpaper like I've got behind me here, if you want a desktop wallpaper, me a line at the email address mancitychat@gmail.com. Drop chat@gmail.com, and we'll work on that for you. Give us a date, give us a special day, whether it's your birthday or another special date in your life. And Carl has, very good of him. He will produce these wonderful, and they are really good. I mean, look at it; it's fantastic. This wallpaper, this desktop wallpaper. So if you're interested, drop us the line and call. Guys, take it easy, please. As I said, a short stream. Look after yourselves. I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully for a longer stream, and we'll see how it goes, guys. You take it easy. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Look after your family. Stay blue. See you around blues.